Hey everybody. Sorry, I'm holding my precious little daughter. She just woke up from a nap, but I wanted to do a quick little video here just talking about some experiences, just my time in the 2x2s. I know there's a lot of people, well, not a ton of people, but I've noticed there has been a little bit of an influx of X2x2s and maybe some 2x2s. That have come across some of my shorts and maybe a couple of my videos or something. So I just wanted to say welcome to everybody. I really, really love you. I truly do. God has transformed my heart. He's transformed my mind. You know, I remember being so self-righteous, and I was such a hypocrite. I was such a hypocrite because I lived, no, I didn't even live by the 2x2 standards, but in my mind, I still had it within me somehow that, I don't know, just by maybe birthright or something, because I was in the 2x2s, associated with the 2x2s, that I was somewhat okay, like that I was still a cut above others, you know? So that's very interesting psychologically too, right? You know, there were so many times too where I was so rebellious, but then when somebody would talk to me about God, I would act like I knew so much and that I basically knew God, and I don't know, like it wasn't even like I was doing his will, you know what I mean? So that was very interesting. I remember at certain points in my life, like I remember one time I was with a friend and I was so depressed at the time, and she was quite troubled, and I just remember sharing with her in that depression, just telling her about like meetings and stuff, because that's all I knew of that could bring me some sort of peace. Like I couldn't separate God from the religion, from the cult. So I just remember saying, oh, like in the meetings, like I was trying to explain the meetings to her, and she didn't really know what I was talking about, but I just said, like, I miss like the quiet and the peace that I felt. And I remember after a meeting, especially at my grandparents', I would have this personal sort of, I thought it was the Holy Spirit. Maybe it was the Holy Spirit. He is so like gracious, and I can see how like the 2x2s do like to invite the Holy Spirit, even though they think the Holy Spirit isn't it, like a force. I don't even really remember what I thought the Holy Spirit was, but I definitely did not believe that the Holy Spirit was a he, like the third person of the Trinity, obviously, because the 2x2s don't believe in the Trinity. So I just remember having these feelings of like, oh, like I felt so peaceful. And maybe that was because like it was my time, I guess, because in my regular life all it was kind of chaotic, to be honest. Like I love my family so much. It's just I can see how the cults and generational stuff brought a lot of turmoil to the family. And so maybe that had a part of it. Like I really did from a small age, you know, professing at 5 years old, feel really serious about God. I I really honestly, like, I've been asked this and I don't know where it came from. Like I just remember feeling serious about God and really truly loving him. Um and it was interesting because it reminds me almost of Islam, where a lot of the people say like I love Allah so much. He's so merciful. But then the religious aspect of Islam is so harsh and like judgmental. And it reminds me kind of the God that I thought I knew back then. So that's really interesting too. Hi Eva. Hi honey. Sorry. She's still tired. um so yeah, man, what are the things that I want to kind of talk about? Hi, honey. I'm right here, honey. I'm right here. I'm right here. Um Oh, my life. Like there's so many memories. I guess I want to talk maybe a bit about like the dress, especially of women, right? So back in the day, I remember at convention, and if you haven't seen some of my other videos explaining some of these things, you can always go back. But I won't elaborate too much on conventions, but um, yeah, just going to convention. I remember, like, I've talked a lot about going to convention when I was younger, but when I was older, my mom, she had divorced like my dad, and so she ended up moving us kids to a larger city. So that was interesting. It's okay, Eva. It's okay. I'm here. So sorry. She likes to tug on my shirt. Um, uh, yeah, so we all moved with her, and she was going to school, and so she was kind of like a single mom raising us, going to work as well, trying to support the family. And then here she was really trying to get us to the meetings and taking us to conventions and stuff. And I was always excited too, because I wanted to like make friends and see any potential men that I could get involved with, that kind of thing. It was always fun. It always felt fun to go to convention, and just because it's such a large gathering that you would just want to see if there would be anyone suitable to yeah, just be in contact with. I remember there was some, it would, like, I guess kind of culturally 2x2s, like the men would be like sending you letters, that kind of thing. I guess for me it was sending emails and stuff like that. But I don't know if my husband would want to know those things. But anyways, yeah, I just remember the conventions being more about like me being excited to see boys. And I remember it was funny because some of the girls would be like doing their hair like in a poof. My hair right now, I've just thrown it up like this because I gotta wash it. But this is kind of actually a hairstyle that I remember the 2x2s really liking, like a lot of the girls, right? Because a lot of the older women would want to conform to a type of bun, right? A Victorian style plain bun, or some of them, like, it varied. So that was interesting as well. But some of the younger girls, there would be like it was almost like cliques. Sorry, Eva, honey, don't do that, okay? I'm so sorry, honey. I'll hug you. I'm just talking. Yeah, it would be kind of cliquey a little bit. There'd be like the groups, right? And it's interesting because I would look over in the convention and see the young girls that looked almost like the epitome of a worker, right? The ministers, just there's a certain look. And if you see in one of the photos that I've posted on one of the videos about the workers, that's kind of the look. And so that was like a golden standard, and that would make you more holy, I would say. And I definitely didn't conform to that. I remember certain times in my life where I would try to, like, if I wasn't going to the meetings and I was like preparing myself to go back, I would start to really like change the way that I was looking. And I felt like if I changed the way that I looked, like no makeup, I tried really hard, no makeup, and wearing really plain dresses, that kind of thing, that I felt like I was getting closer to God. And now I can see that is not God's heart whatsoever. The outward appearance you should be just guided by His Spirit to have wisdom and discernment of how to look. And I just really struggled with that my whole life. And I know I've said before, like, I when I wasn't going to meetings, sometimes I would go to convention and I would look a certain way and get such harsh judgment from that, like really, really judged about how I looked and ostracized. And just even the fact that I was willing to be there and to have no kindness from people generally. A lot of dirty looks, a lot of judgment, especially because my family, there's a lot of rumors that go around about families, especially the lesser popular families. There's a hierarchy. So a lot of these families that have lots of money, they're the ones that don't really get any sort of flack from the workers or anything like that. So yeah, my family definitely was judged. My dad never went to, are you okay, honey? Do you want me to just hug you? I'll be done in a moment. Yeah, my dad, he stopped going to the meetings pretty early on, maybe, I think in his 30s. And then my mom really wanted to try to, like, just keep the family together to go, so he would come and not take part. And then that was kind of the unraveling of everything after the divorce. I just remember when my mom, being the single mom that she was, the workers really tried to take over, and they would like tell her, your children are going to Wednesday night meeting, we're having people pick them up. I remember this old couple, God bless them, they would come and pick us up, and they took us there, and I just remember being so uncomfortable. Like, I'm like at their mercy, you know? I didn't want to go, and here I felt like I had to, and I had to wait for them. I didn't want to stay after a meeting. I felt really awkward because a lot of the time you'll stay after, I don't know what it's like around the world, but in BC, like, you would want to stick around and talk to people, shake hands. That was a really important thing. It's very interesting because I was talking to somebody that's an X2x2, and they were mentioning that Freemasonry does the handshakes, and William Irvine, the founder, was a Freemason, and so apparently the handshakes were super important, and I'd never thought about that before. It's so creepy. Anyways, I better go, but I will do a part 2 very soon. I think my little girl has a little bit of a tummy ache, so I'm gonna take care of her, but hopefully you got a little bit of insight. I feel like I was all over the place, but it's nice to share some things and just give some insight about some experiences. So God bless you. See you next time. And remember, heaven is waiting for you.